Thanks, James. It's always fun. Back to you guys.
All right, stay tuned for one of the most interesting and delicious scone recipes you've ever tried. But first, here's a lady who can slice, dice and julienne the news like no other. Morning, Tash.
Good morning, Stevie. I'm still not going to date you with lines like that.
I wasn't hitting on you.
Shut down. Well, if you weren't, then you're one of the very few men who haven't.
Talk it up, will you?
Guess what else, people? It's 11 o'clock, and do you know what that means? It's time for some news. The Prime Minister and opposition leader are back on the campaign trail after last night's first election debate in Brisbane. The fiery clash between the two leaders ended with Anthony Albanese ahead of Scott Morrison, 40 votes to 35. Chloe Boris is travelling with the PM and filed this report a short time ago just north of Brisbane.
It's lawn bowls in Longman for the Prime Minister this morning, visiting the Living Gems retirement village in the very marginal seat up here in Queensland. He's announced funding to fix the mobile black spots, and that's certainly helping him connect with the voters here. But it's whether he connected with the undecided voters last night at the debate, the first of the campaign with Anthony Albanese. The standouts were certainly a clash and a bit of argy-bargy over the boat turnbacks and what Anthony Albanese's position was back in 2013. Another standout was the NDIS. Labor says it's the party that makes the big changes, while the Prime Minister said that he's the one that then pays for it. But the biggest clash was probably at the end when it came to China.
But what I don't understand is that when something of this significance takes place, why would you take China's side?
Well, let's get Mr Albanese's view on it. Have you taken China's side on this?
That's an outrageous slur from the Prime Minister, and it shouldn't be. National security issues shouldn't be the subject of that sort of slur.
That was in relation to the security pact signed between the Solomon Islands and China. Security experts are today warning that China could establish a military base not even 2,000 kilometres away from Australia within weeks.
Chloe Boris, our political reporter, with that report. Staying on the federal election debate from last night, 2020 Australian of the Year Grace Tame has taken another swing at the Prime Minister in her long-running critical critique of his leadership, this time over a comment he made during last night's federal election debate in Brisbane. Mr Morrison used the term blessed to describe his children not having a disability when asked about NDIS funding.
Annie and I have been blessed. We've got two children that haven't had to go through that. And so for parents with children who are disabled, I can only try and understand.
Tame posted her so-called side-eye picture with the Prime Minister prior to this year's Australian of the Year Awards with the comment, quote, autism blesses those of us who have it with the ability to spot fakes from a mile off, unquote. The debate in Brisbane ended, as Chloe has just mentioned, with Anthony Albanese narrowly beating the PM by 5 votes among 100 so-called undecided voters. Russia has test-launched an intercontinental ballistic missile, with President Vladimir Putin warning the nuclear-capable weapon would make the West think twice about threatening his country. The test launch comes amid soaring tensions between Moscow and the West over the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
The conditions there, the situation there as a result of this Russian aggression are truly horrific.
Ukraine has accused Russian forces of failing to observe a ceasefire agreement long enough to allow women, children and elderly people to flee the besieged city of Mariupol. Queensland is now considering dropping isolation rules for COVID close contacts after the state it was likely past the peak of its current Omicron wave. The State Health Minister and Chief Health Officer will meet today to decide whether Queensland's health system is ready to cope with such a change. The AMA's Dr Chris Moy has told Studio 10 caution does need to be taken as we approach winter.
There's a potential for an increased number of cases, and that could transfer into more cases in hospital just when we're entering the flu season. So it's trying to get the right balance and making sure that the modelling numbers are showing that we're safe as far as that's concerned.
New South Wales and Victoria's close contact isolation rules end midnight tomorrow night. Cannot wait. Prince Harry has opened up about his secret visit with the Queen. Harry and his wife Meghan dropped in last week while on their way to the Netherlands for the Invictus Games. The Duke of Sussex says he enjoyed the privacy that came with their surprise visit to see his grandmother.
Great. It was just so nice to see her. You know, she's on great form. She's always got a great sense of humour with me, and I'm just making sure that she's, you know, protected and got the right people around her.
It comes as preparations get underway ahead of Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee celebrations, marking 70 years on the throne. Remarkable. Troopers have been practising ahead of their performance next month at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. A quick look at the weather now for your Thursday. Showers across most of the east coast. Not in Brisbane though, a top of 28 there today. 23 for the Harbour City, 19 in Canberra, 14 and overcast in Hobart, a little warmer in Melbourne, a top of 21 for Adelaide. 28 is a beautiful and sunny 28 degrees, and Darwin is looking at 36. And that is your news up to date. I'll talk to you all very, very soon.
Fantastic, Tash. We'll see you then. Thank you. Now, we'll be right back with Chef Warren Mendez. He's back in the kitchen. See you soon.